Hey Sagittarius, I wasn't sure if my camera was working. Ali from Indigo Ascension. I'm going to be doing your weekly quick read for the week beginning December the 7th through to the 13th. Now, this week's themes, I wanted to do something that encompasses the retrograde journey that has been 2020, as well as this unique ecliptical cycle crossroads that we all find ourselves on collectively, okay? The next solar eclipse that's coming up is next week in your sign. Very significant, yes. But the last one was on June the 21st, and that fell in the sign of Cancer, which wrapped up the 2 years prior as far as an ecliptical cycle of wisdoms integrated, lessons learned. What did 2018 to 2020 teach you guys? More importantly, leading the South Node, there's going to be many connective themes back into your past, back into past lives, back into what the past has taught me, okay, in the realms of everything. So a massive transformation and growth cycle for you guys leading the South Node, yes. But for all of us collectively, we find ourselves, especially since the 21st of June, we've been at this crossroads, okay? And karmically, it's a beautiful opportunity to decide, do I want to manifest and create in a whole new way? So that's going to be the focus of this reading. All of us are unique, and certainly as empaths, as human beings, we're very, very familiar with this cha-cha process that happens when it comes to our relationship with our intuition. And perhaps when we're repeating karmic cycles, it simply is another go around the wheel, if you like, in order to fully trust self, you know, because in many ways we can look back and intuition was speaking at some point, but we felt like we had to go through the human motions and see where that may have led, to see if our ego shadow was right, yeah? So these readings have very much in many ways been 50-50. However, it's amazing to see that many of the zodiacs are embracing new ways to connect into their manifestation and their creation. They have integrated massive karmic cycles, and they are sort of creating and manifesting in new ways and going to be experiencing Dharma. But again, there is no better than or worse than. There simply just is, and we are all on the same journey, up that same mountain, just at different points in the timeline. So I'm going to take a look at the soul cards to reflect that crossroads energy. I'll have a look at some tarot to identify in detail where that might be sitting, in which key area of your life, if you like, and then I'll take a look at a crystal card. Okie dokie, let's have a look. My lovely Sagittarian, solar eclipse on December the 14th falls in your sign. You are launching a 2-year ecliptical cycle. Leading the South Node, I should say, Gemini will be eclipsing from the North Node, which is your 7th house. Indecision and grief, certainly the themes many Sagittarians that I'm connecting into would have been processing, this karmic eclipsing and rebalancing, if you like, of this inherent grief energy. And I do sense in many ways, Sagittarius, because you are leading the South Node, which is all about linking us back into our past for greater understanding, for deeper enrichment, for a wider lens at wisdom, if you like. There may be presenting themes over the next 2 years that will teach you a little bit more, or a whole lot more, about the grief energy and how that has been a wisdom teacher for you, and how you hold space for grief too, the circumstances and changes in your life that ultimately led to experiencing grief as well. The indecision card, certainly you guys are eclipsing the way in which you work with your third eye and your mind, certainly the way in which you choose to align with decisiveness and strong sense of self and self-understanding, yeah? Using that to reground those foundations, starting from a whole new plate in that regard, offers you guys a unique opportunity to look at grief energy in a whole new way. And guess what? Grief energy links into our Sacral Chakra, the way in which we create. It is from this center of reproductivity. It's very natural, excuse me, for us to hold space for our emotions in the creative field, because it does, it makes sense, it all links, yeah? The Sacral Chakra is about the creation of new life. It is also the chamber in which that we hold grief and the grief we hold about those things that we had created that perhaps didn't mature into something we had perceived would. Now that could apply to a relationship, a circumstance, a career, take it however it resonates, a journey that you were on, okay? I'm keeping these readings broad for a reason. They are soul readings. They are to look at karma and dharma. They are to look at the unique opportunity that all of us have at the crossroads, okay, as we're in between ecliptical cycles. This is about deeply ingraining and embracing the 2 years of wisdom that was the 2018 to 2020 ecliptical cycle, which closed off on June 21, sure, but does it close off for all of us? No, sometimes we experience that energetic connection to these themes, and in many ways, some of us will continue this on for the next couple of years, okay? Hence, I wanted to do the crossroads. So, Sacral Chakra, the point in which you manifest, is also the space that we hold space for grief and loss. And I talked about it on the Facebook page when I did the write-up about, and also on Instagram, when I did the write-up about the weekly energy things, you know, this very active surrender that is a crucial part of manifestation and creation is intrinsically the same energy of surrender when it comes to how we surrender the past. How easy is it for us to let go? Yeah, it's not. Hence, it's also not as easy for us to embrace the energy of surrender when it comes to faith unfolding, when it comes to trust and the process of manifestation. It is intrinsically the same energy, all of which holds space here. I feel I'm connecting to many Sagittarians that will be embarking on that journey of deeper understanding, deeper integration when it comes to the way in which you manifest. It could be in the realms of money. It could be in the realms of experiencing more peace in money, commitments, connections, the way in which some sort of energy connected to these areas of your life has been too slow from a mental point of view, and how it's perhaps caused a lot of troubles, if you like, or you have deemed challenging, and it's something that you gracefully want to move away from. There's recognition here in these things. You've got double sixes, the Six of Wands and the Six of Swords. They sit on either side of this Knight of Pentacles energy. This Knight of Pentacles energy, like I said, it can pertain to finances, commitments, connections that look like they will be leading to marriage, like commitments, recognition, and this energy of recognition, feeling like I have achieved in these realms or otherwise, okay? There's always going to be a journey. Perhaps the biggest challenge in the last year in this retrograde cycle is the indecisiveness, okay? The toing and froing and embracing this newfound perception, this new third eye experience of energy to perceive not just your current circumstances and your future opportunities in a whole new way, but more importantly, your past. You are, again, leading the South Node. It is about deeply integrating the wisdoms of the past. And that is perhaps, you know, by the time we've integrated wisdoms and time has passed, we've done some healing work, some unpacking work, some shadow work. When we turn our lens to the past, if we're not triggered in the same way, if we're looking at circumstances in a whole new way, perhaps that is when healing has happened, okay? I feel very strongly that I'm, like I said, connecting to Sagittarians that will be processing, and maybe that's what this energy has been about between June and now, as we're crossing that few months of a threshold in between ecliptical cycles to decide, where do I want to take this thing, this belief, this intrinsic way in which I look at how I've recognized slow-moving energy in these areas of my life, how I have successfully shifted perceptions, how I am still yet to sort of hold space for this grief energy, or at least this understanding that manifestation and grief sit within the same center. And there's a whole new way of being able to really process that in a peaceful manner. Every energy before the Six of Swords has been a challenging one, hence the Six of Swords represents moving away into more peaceful, calm experiences, away from choppy waters, okay? The Five of Swords certainly is a time of conflict. The Four of Swords is a time of needing to retreat and go into healing space. The Three of Swords is that heartbreak card, yes. By the time we get to the Six, this is the future. We're moving into more calmer waters. We're choosing to travel towards a more peaceful perception of grief energy and how it ultimately has gotten in the way, all right, Saggy, of how you manifest. And this is a stagnant energy. Now, I say stagnant because out of all of the nights, it is the one that doesn't move. It takes a long time. But in saying that, by the time he gets to the King, he is the one out of all of the knights that is guaranteed a place at the thrones. It's almost like he's guaranteed to be king. Maybe there's this bigger story here, this bigger healing journey in the realms of commitment, in the realms of finances, in the realms of your thoughts, in the way in which you work with energy, the way in which you balance your energetic body and your thought body to be able to encompass greater space for your emotional body, okay? Because that's the shadow aspect of the emotional body. When I'm looking at the grief card, there was a whole new reset that had to happen to the third eye and crown so that new foundations could be born, okay, to manifest in a whole new way. With that manifesting in a whole new way, underneath the deck, you have the Knight of Swords. Interesting, 2 knights, 2 sixes. Perhaps there is some deja vu, mirroring effect perhaps, as you find yourself at the crossroads, Saggy, and in many ways, maybe this year you have noticed a re-emergence of similar themes in commitment, in money, old lessons being integrated, relearned, looked at, and in many ways the next 2 years of your ecliptical cycle, leading the South Node, being strongly connected into the past, more importantly, strongly committed to getting to the center of the wisdom of the past, will help you understand these repeating patterns and themes. And like I said, the manifestation spark that exists within us is in the same space that we hold grief, that we hold emotions, okay? 2 sixes, 2 knights, my love. That's very mirroring, and I feel in many ways it has helped you. If there are 2 mirrored circumstances, okay? The way in which you deal with your emotions, the way in which you deal with finances, the way in which you dealt with that relationship, now this relationship, whatever the case may be, there is a mirroring effect here. And you guys are at the crossroads to keep repeating that for deeper understanding and integration, or to be able to see that for what it is and how it has ultimately been about the Sacral Chakra, that reproductivity, where you hold space for your emotions, where you manifest from, and how that core manifestation state, like I've said in a few of the zodiacs, you know, we're recreating cells all of the time. And if I'm vibrating at the peak, at the rate of stress, I'm going to be recreating cells that vibrate at that level. But if I'm recreating cells each and every day based on the vibration of peace, authenticity, balance, then I'm recreating cells on that. This is really cryptic, Saggy. Okay, quickly going to pull a crystal card for you guys. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so by heading on above to the bio link, where you will find a link to the Indigo Ascension shop, and you will see the same link below in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. Selenite is always a powerful clearing healer. Connection, clarity, and manifestation, friends. Some potent symbolism and synchronicity there with the messages. Drawing this card signifies it is time for a period of clarity and concentration. Stop confusion from clouding your judgment and communicate clearly your intention and purpose. With the Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck, that is that same energy, strong clarity, strong sense of urgency for all systems go. I've had my aha moment. I'm communicating and I'm thinking in a whole new way. I have developed a new perceptual shift. I have expanded consciousness. Yeah? All right, Saggy, hope you got something out of that. Until next time, my friend, have an empowered week and take care.